all know dating apps are an absolute scam. They want you to pay for any features that are actually good, and they're honestly only about 3 players in the game, only 2 of which I can actually use, or most people will actually use. So we're going to figure out how dating apps make their money, and why that's changing.
Because you're on a quest to find love, or just someone to spend time with. You may think you're freely roaming the market. But behind the scenes, companies are creating new paywalls to profit off of what is for some, a shrinking number of paying users. In 1995, Match.com was...
You gotta be a particular kind of person to pay for a dating app. You can't communicate in person, or you struggle to find relationships in person. Bam, that's gone. You can't be a woman, because if you're a woman on a dating app, you're gonna get swiped right on by every single guy, so you aren't gonna pay. So that leaves a very small group of guys, right? What group of guys would be invested in paying for dating apps? Mostly the guys who aren't succeeding, right, in the normal world. The rest of us just aren't gonna pay for them. So you're focusing on trying to get money, extract money from this small group of people. And because it's a small group of people, they probably won't succeed on the dating apps either, because they aren't succeeding in person. So, such a scam.
Where you went to meet someone
Initial
online.
thoughts.
At the time of its launch, only 14% of the US had internet access. Today, half of all relationships that started online began on a Match Group platform. The dating app industry is now worth more than $5 billion, with nearly 350 million users across different apps worldwide. But people are getting tired of swiping, and downloads are falling. So, companies are trying to build the next generation of dating apps by adding social networks and AI wingmen.
We can see some backlash against pure dating apps.
Generative AI will fundamentally change how dating online
This
works.
can't be good. This cannot be good. Right off the bat, this cannot be good. There's nothing AI needs to do or interject with that's going to make dating apps better. Unless the AI encourages the women to text people back and makes everybody more responsive. Unless the AI matches people with people and sends them on dates that they pay for, and then they both meet up to enjoy the date, which is an idea that I have. You know, it sounds like they just need new investor capital, and they're trying to throw some AI in there where it doesn't belong. But this is stupid right off the bat. But let's give it a chance. Let's see.
Swiping in 5 years' time? No.
This is the economics of dating apps. Match Group now owns and monetizes a big portfolio of dating apps, including Tinder, Hinge, and plenty of fish. Across the industry, there's something for everyone, whether you're looking for a casual hookup, a polyamorous relationship, or someone with facial hair. Most apps today use a freemium model, where part of the platform is free, but you have to pay either a subscription or one-time fee to unlock certain features, like unlimited swipes or new cities. But if companies are successful at setting up a match, they could lose paying customers. So they're trying to get more money out of the people while they're on the apps and keep them around for longer.
Most dating apps.
Well, obviously, right? Point of absolutely every company in business, or of the digital age, of the social media age, of the app age. Keep you here as long as possible and try to get as much money out of you as possible. This isn't anything new. What, they just woke up and realized, oh, we have to get people good dates if we want them to stay on our apps. As a dating app, we actually have to make people go on dates in order to make them enjoy our app. No duh.
Lock people in paradox of choice by giving them millions of people to choose from. That's how we is by helping you speed that process up, get more exposure, get more people contacting you, help you sort through those contacts.
But the number of people willing to pay for the world's most popular dating app has been shrinking for 6 quarters now.
As it should.
Loud and clear that some users, especially the Gen Z cohort, are looking for more.
Is this even his voice? Is using AI now? Doesn't even sound like a human.
From their dating apps.
Tinder has 50 million monthly active users. It brought in $1.9 billion in annual revenue last year and invented the now famous swipe right mechanism. To try and bring in money from users while they are on the app, Tinder currently offers a range of subscription tiers and one-off purchases to unlock things like unlimited swipes and being able to see who likes you.
So they did a really great job for a long time. And I think what's happening right now is that people want to graduate. They'll be on a Tinder, they'll hang out there, that's their go-to, but then they'll look for something else. They'll realize there's a particular thing that they want, and it could be that they want a long-term relationship, in which case they'll go to a Hinge.
Hinge was created in 2012, the same year as Tinder.
Hinge,
it was
by far, if you've not heard of it, is the best dating app. It's fallen off recently. It's not as good. Just like Tinder used to be great, but it's not as good now. But when I used it and actually used it like consistently, Hinge is great. Hinge is much better than Tinder, especially.
Also bought by Match Group. It now has more than 10 million users and an annual revenue of $396 million. This app isn't afraid of losing users. In fact, it's made it part of its marketing strategy. While Tinder has been struggling to retain paying users, Hinge has seen a 31% year-over-year increase in people who pay for the app.
See, Tinder kind of just has to accept his 2 versions of Tinder. You need the people who are there for what Tinder is currently used for, and then you need the people who are actually looking for relationships, their own version of Hinge. Because you aren't going on Tinder to get married or get a serious relationship. Maybe in the past that worked. Maybe towards the beginning that worked. It doesn't work now. It doesn't work. Hinge, on the other hand, there's much more likely, a higher chance of you connecting with somebody you actually like. And they've done a great job at that.
What Match has done quite well is buy other properties that then people go from a Tinder to one of their other properties. And that's the magic. Having a portfolio of dating apps, that's really the ideal business model.
Not a good
Companies
thing.
who don't own a portfolio of different apps are taking another strategy, keeping people
Okay, last pause. I'm gonna let it run after this. That's not a good thing. It's so shitty. Because every other match app, or the vast majority of them that I've used, I think one's called like Badoo, and they got a few ones, they're shit. Because nobody uses them. Tinder doesn't prioritize them because they have Tinder. And you're getting the same people signing up for the same company. And you're disconnecting all these people who could potentially meet by giving them 100 different apps. It's garbage having 100 different apps. And they're all so trash. All other match apps, or most of them, they're so much worse. It's really not a good idea. The only thing that they're doing is just consuming as many people as possible and trying to buy up as many people as possible, which they've succeeded at doing, which is probably another reason there's been so stagnant in terms of the success of this and its growth. Because any dating app that tries to come out, Match just buys them up, and they ruin them, give them no updates, or they break things.
online even after they meet someone. Enter Grindr, the so-called gayborhood in your pocket.
One of our straight counterparts kind of classifies itself as like to be deleted. We are the opposite. We are the app to be kept because people might get into a long-term relationship, but they're still on Grindr very actively. Again, they have friends on Grindr. They use it in all these other ways.
Grindr was originally designed as a casual
know that.
dating
I
app
didn't know it
for
was like a
queer
social
men
network.
based on people's geographic location. It's grown from one of the first mobile meetup apps to a platform of more than 13 million monthly users with $260 million in revenue. To keep users on the app, Grindr's
Okay,
paid a new
that is
con-
insane. 7% of the population is gay. It's not a big, well, it's big, but humongous portion of the pop, right? And they're pulling that much money. That's almost the same as Tinder. It's not that big of a difference in terms of how much money they're pulling. And they have such a smaller group of people they could potentially get on their app, or a group of people who would be interested in their app. That's wild.
pathways to profitability by developing features around the ways people are already using it, like for gay-friendly travel tips and healthcare information. Kind of like how Uber started as a rideshare and has expanded into grocery through food delivery. Grindr is building something the company hopes will appeal to their users in long-term relationships too.
We should not build a dating product that is awesome for 2021 or 2022. We should build a dating product that is going to be awesome for 2027. And so our dating product should be AI first.
Online dating companies are sitting on massive treasure troves of data. We can see how people are communicating. We can see who is communicating with who for how long. So to chew on all of that and make sense of it and look for disparate connections and correlations, that's when I think AI can start giving us something interesting.
Grindr has partnered with romantic AI company XHuman to develop a digital dating assistant called the Grindr Wingman.
So this is something that is kind of present in your app or in your always and makes suggestions to you, right? Like, hey, maybe as you're talking to somebody or meeting them for a coffee, these are the 3 places you could go and do that ad because it's convenient for them and for you geographically. Or as coming over to your house, based on what I know about him and what I know about you, play this music, while you wait.
And they said, okay, that's where he had me, Oh, okay. Being with somebody, locations where y'all are at, so you can both meet halfway. That makes sense, right? Oh, great idea. Yeah. And also, as the person's coming up, it's going to suggest music that you can play that they like. That's some Joe Goldberg stuff, That's you not being you, he's the other person, which, of course, that's what, a little bit of submission is a long-term relationship is built upon. With accomplishment of any goal, submitting in certain ways during the pursuit of a goal. But no, don't tell me what music to play because you think he likes it. No homo. Don't tell me what music. That's horrible.
As well, like just a text.
He said that with straight face.
There's no official
said that with
plans
a straight
yet,
face.
but Grindr's AI features could one day go from wingman to actual companion.
Obviously, we want to solve loneliness for people in real life, first and foremost, and that's what Grindr is really good at. But if AI, conversational AI, can be helpful in solving some of that virtually as well, that is something we should think about, right? What direction that will go in, I don't yet know, but it's certainly something we've thought about and we'll continue thinking about. And
While Grindr is leaning into AI to retain its audience, Muzz, an app for Muslims, is betting you'll want to stick around even after you get married.
Facebook
Never
started
heard
as a
of
social
Muzz.
network and added Facebook dating. We've kind of gone in the reverse. We've got the dating app, it's marriage app, adding the social network afterwards.
Muzz is an app for Muslims who want to get married. It has more than 1 million monthly active
Okay, so I thought
users
about something
and more than
similar to
20
that.
million in annual revenue.
Not for Muslims, but for people in general. People who immediately just want to get married. Basically like a love at first sight, but just the app. But
There's a
just never
ton of
heard
different
this.
features unique to the Muslim dating experience, including allowing for a chaperone on the app and letting women decide when men can see their photos.
I think one thing that we consciously do is remind ourselves why we exist, and effectively, for me, why we are not a Tinder and a Bumble. For Muslims, getting married, finding your life partner is such a big part of our life, our culture, and even our religion, right? So it's deemed as being half of your faith is in finding a partner.
Muzz says it's facilitated at least 500,000 marriages based on the
This is why Islam is succeeding so much. I'm not religious. If I had to go back to a religion now, I'd go back. Not saying, oh, they're more right than everyone else. Their book is more right than everybody else. But there's and this is so hypocritical. I know this is so weird for me to, with, certain things that are okay in the Muslim thing. It is such a pure religion in the right context. Because you happen to live in a country, right? Does that mean that you subscribe to and agree with and support all the things your country has ever done? No. What skin color are you? Are you a white person? Oh, does that mean that your parents were slave owners and you're a colonizer? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. You can't be defined by decisions made by one person or the decisions made by one group or whatever. Unless it's a group you decide to be a part of, right? And this is a group that they've decided to be a part of, which, that's where the hypocrisy comes in. What I'm trying to say is they're so pure about the authenticity. I'll say that. There's something so pure about the seriousness with which they have their faith. And they aren't pushy. They aren't annoying. It seems like their purpose and goal and existence on Earth is not to get as many people to become Muslim on Earth. I feel like most Muslims just kind of find it and then end up there. And then end up following it or pursuing it. They don't completely believe in everything. It's just comfortable to be. The Muslim community is like nothing else. And yeah, that's my thoughts, Unlikely back to religion, but it's different. It is different. If you've ever been to a mosque, if you've ever been able to join in on one of the prayers, you will understand what I'm saying. If you haven't, you won't, but you should. You should experience it. Don't disrespect them or places or barge it. Treat it as like an odd thing to look at. Genuinely take an experience, and you will understand that exists within Islam that just doesn't in Christianity or other religions or many other religions. And Buddhism, is it really a religion? Come on. Is it really a religion? Big debate.
people who left the app and said they got married. On Hinge, that would mean losing at least 500,000 potential customers. But on Muzz,
One of the interesting things that we launched is effectively a social network for Muslims. And for me, this is looking at, well, how do we help generate more authentic conversations between Muslims?
Younger users gravitate more towards more social apps. It's what they're used to being on all day. So to have something that's social with an element of dating is a good graduation for them.
We started off with Muzz being the app where single Muslims meet, and I think now we're morphing into the app where Muslims meet.
Bumble is also investing into friendships as a way to keep people on their apps even if they're not looking for love.
This is an ecosystem of human connections and using technology as a bridge to build healthier and more equitable relationships.
Bumble Inc., which owns Bumble, Bumble for Friends, Bumble Biz, Badoo, Fruits, and Official, 42 million monthly users, and a revenue of more than $1 billion. Bumble has positioned itself as the sort of antithesis to Tinder by putting women first. Today, that mission has remained, but it's also investing in friendship apps.
Okay. Here's time to expose myself, right? Making me feel self-conscious. Swiped on or have a message sent for me on Bumble, and I've never seriously used it. When I use Bumble, I've used it for most times here and there. So you sit there, you're waiting for some girl to message you first. You go on there. I don't be getting responses after they message me. So they send some message. I'm like, oh, hey, let's see where this goes. And then I don't get a response on Bumble. So that's my problem with Bumble, right? All the messaging first and stuff. That's cool or whatever, I guess. But it's not an app that I can be in terms of quickly making something happen. Because I'm dependent upon another person messaging, and then the response rates for me on Bumble are just horrible compared to other
tend
apps.
to do a bit better when it comes to the continuity problem. People tend to stick around on the niche apps because it's they're with their people, right?
Now, a decade into the age of dating apps, these companies are working to capture wider audiences and higher revenue. And your pool of potential matches may be getting bigger and bigger. Say you joined a dating app looking for love. Maybe in the future you find it there. Or maybe the apps help you find a new friend, local tour guide, or even an AI companion.
I'm not looking for an AI companion, bro. I'm not looking for an AI companion on Tinder. Not why anybody's on Tinder. I don't know about that one. They gotta rethink that part. That's not it. I need AI. I don't need AI in Tinder. The one thing he suggested with location suggestion, good idea. Everything else, no. I'm good.